In this episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Dr. Suzanne Humphries, a nephrologist and author, discusses a wide range of topics related to vaccines, public health, and the historical context of various diseases. The conversation is rich with insights and challenges the conventional narratives surrounding vaccination and health. Dr. Humphries emphasizes the necessity of maintaining an open mind when discussing vaccines and health-related topics. She argues that dogmatism can hinder understanding and that it is crucial to consider multiple perspectives. This flexibility allows for a more comprehensive view of health issues, particularly in a world where misinformation can easily spread. Dr. Humphries believes that being indoctrinated into a singular viewpoint can lead to a lack of critical thinking, which is detrimental to public health discussions. She highlights that the medical community often operates within a framework that discourages questioning established norms. This can lead to a narrow understanding of health issues, particularly regarding vaccines. Dr. Humphries encourages listeners to explore the broader implications of vaccination and to consider the historical context of diseases, which can provide valuable insights into current health practices. The conversation shifts to the efficacy of natural remedies, with Dr. Humphries discussing the benefits of various herbs and supplements. She mentions cinnamon, for example, which has been shown to aid in glucose handling for diabetics. Dr. Humphries reflects on her own skepticism towards natural remedies during her medical training, initially dismissing them as hippie nonsense. However, her experiences with patients and further research led her to recognize the potential benefits of these remedies. Dr. Humphries argues that the medical community often overlooks the value of natural treatments, focusing instead on pharmaceutical solutions. She believes that integrating natural remedies into conventional medicine could enhance patient care and improve health outcomes. This perspective challenges the prevailing notion that only pharmaceutical interventions are valid, advocating for a more holistic approach to health. Dr. Humphries delves into the historical context of vaccines, particularly the polio vaccine. She discusses how the introduction of the polio vaccine coincided with a significant decline in polio cases, but questions whether the vaccine was the primary factor in this decline. Dr. Humphries points out that improvements in sanitation and public health measures likely played a more significant role in reducing disease incidence. She also highlights the importance of understanding the historical narratives surrounding vaccines. Many people are unaware of the controversies and challenges faced by early vaccine proponents, including the adverse effects reported in the past. By examining these historical events, Dr. Humphries believes that individuals can gain a clearer understanding of the complexities surrounding vaccination and public health. The discussion touches on the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986, which provided legal immunity to vaccine manufacturers. Dr. Humphries explains that this legislation was a response to the growing number of lawsuits against vaccine companies following adverse reactions to vaccines. She argues that this immunity has led to a lack of accountability and transparency in the vaccine industry. Dr. Humphries believes that the 1986 Act has contributed to a culture of complacency within the vaccine industry, where manufacturers are less incentivized to ensure the safety and efficacy of their products. This legal protection, she argues, has resulted in a disconnect between the pharmaceutical companies and the public, as concerns about vaccine safety are often dismissed or downplayed. Dr. Humphries discusses the variability in vaccine efficacy, noting that not all vaccines are created equal. She points out that while some vaccines may provide robust protection, others may not be as effective, leading to inconsistent health outcomes. This variability can be attributed to factors such as the manufacturing process, the population receiving the vaccine, and the specific disease being targeted. She emphasizes the need for more rigorous testing and evaluation of vaccines, particularly in light of the variability observed in clinical trials. Dr. Humphries advocates for a more transparent approach to vaccine development, where the public is informed about the potential risks and benefits associated with each vaccine. This transparency, she argues, is essential for building trust between the medical community and the public. The conversation shifts to the potential link between vaccines and autoimmune diseases. Dr. Humphries shares her concerns about the increasing prevalence of autoimmune conditions in recent years, suggesting that vaccines may play a role in this trend. She discusses the mechanisms by which vaccines could trigger autoimmune responses, including molecular mimicry and the activation of the immune system. Dr. Humphries argues that the medical community often overlooks the potential consequences of vaccination on autoimmune health. She believes that more research is needed to explore the long-term effects of vaccines on the immune system and to understand the relationship between vaccination and autoimmune diseases. This perspective challenges the prevailing narrative that vaccines are universally safe and effective. Dr. Humphries emphasizes the critical role of nutrition in maintaining a healthy immune system. She discusses how deficiencies in essential vitamins and minerals can compromise immune function, making individuals more susceptible to infections and diseases. Dr. Humphries advocates for a diet rich in whole foods, vitamins, and minerals to support overall health and immunity. She highlights the importance of specific nutrients, such as vitamin C and vitamin D, in bolstering immune responses. Dr. Humphries argues that a well-nourished body is better equipped to handle infections and recover from illnesses. This perspective underscores the need for a holistic approach to health that prioritizes nutrition alongside medical interventions. The discussion turns to the COVID-19 vaccines, with Dr. Humphries expressing her concerns about their safety and efficacy. She highlights the rapid development and approval process of these vaccines, questioning whether adequate testing was conducted to ensure their safety. Dr. Humphries argues that the unprecedented speed of vaccine development raises red flags about potential long-term effects. Dr. Humphries also addresses the issue of vaccine mandates, expressing her belief that individuals should have the right to make informed choices about their health. She argues that coercive vaccination policies undermine personal autonomy and can lead to distrust in the medical community. This perspective resonates with many who have questioned the ethics of mandatory vaccination during the pandemic. Dr. Humphries stresses the importance of informed consent in medical practice, particularly regarding vaccination. She argues that patients should be fully informed about the risks and benefits of vaccines before making decisions about their health. Dr. Humphries believes that the current system often fails to provide adequate information, leading to uninformed choices. She emphasizes that informed consent is a fundamental principle of medical ethics, and patients should have the right to ask questions and seek clarification about medical interventions. Dr. Humphries advocates for a more transparent approach to healthcare, where patients are empowered to make informed decisions about their health. As the conversation draws to a close, Dr. Humphries reflects on the future of vaccination and public health. She expresses her hope that more individuals will begin to question the status quo and seek out alternative perspectives on health and wellness. Dr. Humphries believes that a shift towards a more holistic approach to health, which includes nutrition and natural remedies, could lead to better health outcomes for individuals and communities. She encourages listeners to stay informed and engaged in discussions about vaccines and public health. Dr. Humphries believes that by fostering open dialogue and critical thinking, society can move towards a more balanced understanding of health and wellness. This vision for the future emphasizes the importance of individual autonomy and informed decision-making in healthcare.